Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS. I'm cloud economist Corey Quinn. Let's see what AWS has for us this week. We begin with an oddity. AWS's private CA now supports partitioned CRLs, and it raised the max number of certificates per CA to 20 million. That's a big deal for a couple very specific customers, but for some unknown reason, they didn't bother to put out a what's new update on that. I'm not entirely sure why, given the drivel that frequently makes that feed, whereas this is actually a great change that's important. Oh well, what else did they get up to?
This episode is sponsored in part by my day job, the Duckbill Group. Do you have a horrifying AWS bill? That can mean a lot of things. Predicting what it's going to be, determining what it should be, negotiating your next long-term contract with AWS, or just figuring out why it increasingly resembles a phone number, but nobody seems to quite know why that is. To learn more, visit duckbillgroup.com. Remember, you can't duck the duckbill bill. And my CEO informs me that is absolutely not our slogan.
Amazon Connect reduces telephony pricing in Vietnam. Now, since you can now save a fair bit of money if you're using Amazon Connect from the Singapore region to handle calls to and from Vietnam, that's a boatload of money. So take that, all of you haters who say AWS doesn't make broad price cuts to services that impact every customer anymore. Amazon EC2 announces time-based copy for AMIs, and you can specify a copy time target from 15 minutes to 48 hours. I do find myself wondering just what the hell you people are putting inside AMIs that'll take 48 hours to copy between regions, though. How big are these things? Wait a minute, in 2022, they expanded the AMI size limit all the way to 5 terabytes? Oh, snap. I'm using that as a database now. Amazon Location Service now supports AWS Private Link. What a useless, expensive feature this is. You could replace it with a simple API that responds with a string. You are in an AWS VPC subnet. Duh! Surely I'm not missing a key nuance here. Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet is now available in Amazon Bedrock. Underpants outside the pants speed on the tail of Anthropic's own announcement. This enhancement is better in every way except that I have to inexplicably prepend US dot to the model ID now if I want it to work in my existing code base. Why? Because GenAI. AWS Batch now supports resource-aware scheduling. It didn't before? What was it doing? Just running a static list of things it wanted without rhyme nor reason? That's not an AWS service. That's a shell script the intern wrote. AWS Chatbot is now named Amazon Q Developer. I have a bunch of thoughts on this on the Last Week in AWS blog that aren't particularly flattering to AWS. Go check out lastweekinaws.com/blog and you'll read them. AWS Code Pipeline introduces new console experience for viewing pipeline releases. The console isn't shitty anymore, claims the AWS newsfeed that's systematically incapable of showing a screenshot of what the new console might look like. You can now use your China UnionPay credit card to create an AWS account. Sadly, until the absolutely excellent AWS Trust and Safety team goes on a long vacation together, you remain unable to use someone else's China UnionPay credit card to create an AWS account.
This episode is sponsored by my own company, the Duckbill Group. Having trouble with your AWS bill? Perhaps it's time to renegotiate a contract with them. Maybe you're just wondering how to predict what's going on in the wide world of AWS. Well, that's where the Duckbill Group comes in to help. Remember, you can't duck the Duckbill bill, which I am reliably informed by my business partner is absolutely not our motto.
Accelerate security incident response and recovery with AWS Security Incident Response Partners. This is great! No, not for customers, for AWS partner managers, and also optometrists who want a new eye chart of tech company logos with which to test their patients for distance vision. Amazon Web Services named a leader in the 2024 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Data Integration Tools. This is a weird post to make. It sounds great, but when you look at the image, Every other company in the good quadrant, specifically Google, SAP, Oracle, Informatica, Microsoft, IBM, and some companies I think are made up, namely Qulic, Denodo, and AB Initio Software, all score higher on the completeness of vision axis. Even at my small scale, my CEO would kick the shit out of me if I posted something demonstrating how all of my competitors were kicking the shit out of me, but I guess that's just an aspect of big business I'll never understand. Migrate very large databases to Amazon Aurora MySQL using my dumper and my loader. You can put it in my dumper, says the US-based company who's very clearly never met an Australian before, then wonders why a certain subset of the audience just broke composure. Announcing CDK garbage collection. This is an extremely hurtful way to refer to the community's CDK patterns site. Generate code documentation using Amazon Q Developer. Okay, if it's so good at this, then why does so much of the AWS service documentation appear to have been written by a gerbil? ByteDance processes billions of daily videos using their multimodal video understanding models on AWS Inferentia 2. Now, with typical AWS subtlety, the only place the term TikTok appears in this entire article is in the biographies of its authors. Oh, they mention a host of other ByteDance properties, CapCut, eShop, Lark, Pico, and Mobile Legends Bang Bang, but never once TikTok, because that one's politically charged. And finally, unlock deeper insights and faster investigations with AWS CloudTrail Lake. Okay, shut up. This is awesome. I have been saying for multiple years that CloudTrail Lake is the future. It charges upfront for storage up to 7 years, so keeping audit logs is no longer an investment decision down the road, so everyone should be using it. Querying it is super simple, and I want more people to know about it. Specifically, I want more AWS service teams to know about it. Hi there, Control Tower friends. And that's what happened last week in AWS. I'm cloud economist Corey Quinn. Stick around.